going live here. Here we go. Greetings, people of Earth. Greetings, my friends. This stream is live. Good evening, everyone. Hope you can hear me okay. If you can't, things will still be okay. Welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here. All 0 of you. Now, my streams are different because no one watches. Number one. I have more cameras than anyone, even though no one watches. Number two. And dolphins could come in here at any instant and puke on me. Slimy dead fish. No, that's not really true. Testing all systems here. As we move into the evening, testing systems, excellent connection. Hoping we have a decent mix here in the music. Because I'm going to need to take these headphones off sooner than later. And we'll just go from there. I'll try to do a show. We might be oiling my valves. How exciting. Am I on that one? Yeah, I'm on that one. Hi, how's it going? This is Dylan. Just got back from vacation. I can't really talk with these things in my... Okay, let me check my cameras first, then we'll switch this around. Testing all systems. All systems go. We have no viewers, so who cares? We'll just do stuff. Hi. Anybody tuning in yet? Greetings. We have our first viewer here. I'm going to take these off. Hello to the first viewer. I welcome you to this show. Leave a comment, say hello. Tell me if if it's going to snow. You should be able to hear me going through my lapel wireless mic tonight. A little more, hey Mike, how you doing? Yo, yo, you hoodle. How's it going? Welcome to the Tubadylan random midnight weird show chat hour that has no plan, makes no sense, but we're welcoming of all folks here on my YouTube channel. So welcome, welcome. Is there anything that's on your mind? I was thinking about many different things. My wife said, oh, talk about Las Vegas. What did you think of Las Vegas? Yeah, I was there last week. Played tuba in high school and middle school. Oh, yeah, me too, me too. Started tuba in middle school and also played in high school, and absolutely loved it. Went to a special music school in high school, and it was way cool and interesting, called the Hamilton Academy of Music in Los Angeles. It's kind of like the main performing arts magnet in Los Angeles for, specifically even more for music. They have, I think, a few other performing arts programs, but those are more acting based and not as much music based. So, oh man, I can't tell you, I love playing the tuba. It's just, it's such a fulfilling feeling to be blasting those low notes out and being part of a group and doing that. And I miss it because I haven't been playing with people for a long time. So I just sit here in my strange place here, my very strange studio, and once in a while get to play music on the tuba. So, but while I talk to you, I was going to oil valves on the tuba. So any suggestions, if you know any horns that I might have, or if you want me to pick one, making it sing in the high register. Oh, well, yeah, tubas in the high register are fantastic. Just messing with my cameras right here. I've got some new setups here. I've got this camera for interacting with the audience on a live stream. I can go to these two cameras that kind of complement each other. I've got one up here on the display, so I can turn here and see your comments from this camera very easily. So I just scoot up a tiny bit, and here I am on this camera. Might not be the most flattering look, but ooh, you can see the TV behind me too. But yeah, making a tuba sing in the high register. Ooh, yeah, an F tuba, a solo sound. It's a beautiful sound. People don't understand that. Maybe people think the tuba has to be kind of a honky, bass, clumsy, comedic sound, but it really, most of the time, it's used the right way. It's not. It's just a gorgeous full bass sound that's unlike any other sound. I mean, electric bass, you can't get the same tone and feel and vibration as a tuba on an electric bass, even one that's really beefed up. And frankly, a lot of electric bass players, they love to have a sound of a tuba coming out of their bass, if you know what I mean. So yeah, how are you guys doing? I'm just hanging here, playing with my cameras. So I have this set up here where I can go to this wider shot, and then I have like a literal close-up here. But boom, I don't know if it'll keep you in focus or not, but hey, there's this close-up right there. And this is sort of a new shot, like a new angle for me, for the studio here. Because of my great vanity, I have to test all these things out and just stare at the screen later on and see how I look. That's the most important part of any good video, is how does it look? Nobody really cares about what you have to say. Quick question. A 3/4 double C tuba, or 5-valve or 6-valve F tuba for an 8-person brass choir. Yeah, everyone jokes about boom pine. Yeah, they did. That's an interesting question. So you're asking me if an 8-person brass choir. Are you the only tuba player in that choir? That would be my follow-up question, Dwayne. If you're the only tuba player in that choir, it really depends on your skills on the 5 or 6 valve F tuba and what type of F tuba it is. The Yamaha F tubas could totally handle it. So any big piston F tuba could easily handle that size brass choir. You know, but I do like a C for playing the brass choir, especially because you're going to be the bass. I hope you can hear my voice okay. I know I'm playing a track in the background. I'm going to bring that down just a tiny bit more here because I'm just experimenting with this. I'll leave it on there, but just quite a bit less at this point in the show. Now that I get to honk my yonker when people are asking questions. Oh, there's a B flat tuba. Yeah, okay. If there's a B flat tuba, it'd be pretty nice to play F tuba, I think, to add to the whole thing. I mean, if he's playing contrabass, play F tuba. I think that'd be great. Yeah, and an F tuba can handle that type of choir. The only thing I would worry about if I was playing a rotary F tuba, and I had this problem. I used to have a Rudy Meinl 6-valve rotary F tuba that had maybe one of the sweetest sounds you could ever imagine on any tuba. Maybe the best I ever played from, I don't know, about the low fundamental F and up. But as you went down on that horn, it had that typical F tuba stuffiness. Now you can learn how to center yourself on those horns. You can learn how to center your tone on the low notes of a 6-valve, 5-valve rotary F tuba. And I mean, listen to Alan Bear play his 6-valve F tuba and his low register, and you're not going to say, oh man, that horn has a bad low register. You know? So it does depend on your skill on the horn, of course. But yeah, I would play the F. If there's a B flat player in the band, I would play the F, or even an E flat if that was what you played. But I think that would be a real nice fill out. I mean, that's 2 tubas in an 8 brass choir. That's pretty nice. That's great. That's a lot of tuba sound, if you know what I mean. So yeah, these are my 2 new cameras where I can look right at the chat. Oh, and I can kind of see now. So I haven't been able to see very well. I mean, I'm sharing this with you for whatever reason, but got new in chroma colorblind glasses here. The magic colorblind glasses that I wear. And these have new prescription that is far superior to my last prescription from several years ago. I should have had one a long time ago. But stayed home for COVID and my eyes got worse. So, have I ever heard Ralph Vaughan Williams' Concerto for Bass Tuba? I have heard it, yes. I have heard it, and I've performed it in concert. It is very, very one of my favorites. So, it's one of my favorites, yeah. Really, really cool because it was just written so well. He obviously had a great sense of what the tuba was, what the tuba's potential can be, and wrote that at a time where no one had ever written anything like it. So, good for Vaughan Williams. Thank you, Vaughan Williams. You've blown all of our minds. He's gone now, so he won't know until he's resurrected. But good old Vaughan Williams, man. I love that piece. I've played the second movement Romanza as a solo work, just in different things in church or whatever, and have performed the whole piece. It's just massive. It's fantastic. It has the full orchestral accompaniment. and they kind of roar and play with the tuba. And there's way more you can do with that particular piece than a lot of people know. I think these modern times, these days, I think a lot of these great players are sort of reimagining it. I think Gene Picorni played it with the Chicago Symphony, and he really kind of laid on his own flavor to it, which was a really interesting and good performance. I don't know if you can find that online, but boy, look to see if you can find Gene Picorni playing it. He did some things, and he played it on the C tuba. I like it on the F tuba. I would always play. I play it on the F tuba, but he played it on the C tuba. Yeah, really love that. Really love that piece. So yeah, welcome to the show. We're just chilling out. We're hanging out in the tuba room here, talking about tubas. But we could talk about anything. You could talk about life. You can blow my mind with something that's happened to you in the past, a couple months, couple years, something that's happened to you musically that you might want to talk about. Yeah, went to Vegas recently, was impressed by the shows. We always go see shows when we go there. That's really why we go there. We don't gamble per se. We're not interested in that, but we do enjoy the shows, and it's still a family-friendly place. And I say that in a strange way because no one would think that Vegas, as Sin City, is really a family-friendly place these days, right? It's people who have been there. It's a big city, and there's people gambling. There's lots of people drinking. But one thing about it, I think that Vegas is relatively, considering how crowded it is and how many things are going on. I'm ranting here about Las Vegas for a second, but considering how all the things that are going on there, there are people drinking and partying and having weddings, and they're on vacation to let loose. So everybody's there sort of in that sort of atmosphere. It automatically lends itself to problems, and I think it's the corporatism and probably a little bit of the mob culture being left there in Vegas. But I feel that when I'm in Vegas and I'm on the Strip and I'm in the hotels, not necessarily walking on the Strip between the hotels, you're in a transitional space. When I'm there, I'm aware that there are cameras everywhere. So even on the sidewalk, there's some weird stuff going on, but there are so many people and so many cameras that you're relatively safe. But I think I always get the feeling once you get into that casino, you are under the protection of that casino now. I don't rely on the protection of anybody in my life from day to day and second to second in that respect. Like, I don't expect to be safe because I'm in a casino or outside. I never feel safe anywhere where I'm in public, you know. But in Vegas, there's something about it. I think it's kind of the mob culture, whatever. The fact that there literally are high definition cameras on every single inch around those hotels and inside those hotels, other than in your personal room. They're everywhere. So there's something about that, and knowing that that hotel's business depends in some part on keeping its clientele safe. A big part, a huge part. That's what they're doing. So that's one of the reasons we love Vegas. You don't think it's so much Sin City anymore? Yeah, well, that's what they used to call it. I guess because prostitution is legal nearby. I don't think it's legal in that county, but I think it's legal in other places in Nevada, so that might be why. And gambling and drinking and who knows what else. But it's got a lot of good things for a family. It's kind of like the biggest outdoor, if you really think about it, it's almost like the biggest outdoor mall in the world. There might be something bigger. I mean, Dubai has some impressive things from what I hear and all that. But Las Vegas is kind of like that with the gambling. But even if you're not interested in the gambling is interesting. So we walk through the casinos and it sounds interesting, it looks interesting, and we appreciate even though everything there is fake, the amount of design and architecture and engineering and construction and thought and work that went into building this place up is absolutely majestic and unbelievable. So that's another thing we like about it. We went to see, my favorite show was a show called Tape Face. So I'll just endorse him right here on my live show because I know he's on YouTube. There's a guy named Tape Face who has a show in Vegas now. And he was on YouTube, and he's a clown for all intensive purposes who has a piece of tape over his mouth, so he obviously does not speak. And I don't even think he made any noise, if I remember right. Like, he doesn't hum, there was no noise that he made with his actual voice. But he had other people that worked his show with him a little bit to help get people up to interact with him and do their thing with him. And that was one of my favorite Vegas shows of all time, Tape Face. It was just beautiful, brilliant, creative, relatively family friendly compared to other things, and just absolutely loved him. You can look him up here, look him up on YouTube, look up Tape Face. He was on America's Got Talent. I don't think he won, I don't remember, but he was on it, and that's where he got his exposure. And maybe, I don't know if he had a show before that show or not, but he's fantastic. Yeah, Vegas is cheesy. It's in a good way. Like, I like cheesy. I like cheese, you know. So the cheesiness is great. It's a good place to go on vacation. So yeah, we went there. We stayed at the Venetian, and I was able to get a great rate in a big top of the hotel, extra large suite, they call it, or whatever it was, and it had a great view of the Strip and everything. So that was pretty cool. We got to have that view of the brand new Resort World, was like right out our window. And the whole entire side of this brand new, humongous, ginormous casino, they've got a display. So they took the whole building and they literally made a high definition, at least from our vantage point, a relatively high definition LED display that the people inside the hotel can see right through to the outside without having a problem. But people who are all around see it as the big marquee for that hotel. They have other marquees, but that was pretty impressive. Very impressive. However, we did go to that hotel, and other than the food court, which looked terrific, and I wish we had stopped and got something there. That was the one thing that looked awesome there at that hotel, the new Resort World in Las Vegas. It was kind of a dead place. They hadn't opened a lot of their shops, and you could tell that most of their shops were going to be top high-end things like Louis Vuitton and up, you know, like that kind of stuff. So, but Vegas, yeah, it's like a humongous mall with unlimited entertainment, with a huge amount of security, meaning that I'm sure you can get robbed and pickpocketed, assaulted, but I think that, I don't know what the stats are, but I'm guessing that within the hotels and between these nice hotels, it's probably pretty low for people and families to get messed with. And that's just, I've always felt that much about it, you know, about Vegas. I feel safe. I feel safe while I'm there with the cheesiness. Yeah, we went to see a few other shows. We saw Terry Fader, the ventriloquist dummy, and we're interested in ventriloquism here. This is the world's worst ventriloquist show, which I really never do use my puppets, but it's because I can't talk and not move my mouth, which is like the key to ventriloquism, is to talk and not move your mouth. So this guy wanted to talk to you. Hey, audience, there, it's good to see you there. I gotta move my mouth. Yeah, he's the worst. He moves his mouth, and I don't even know how to change his voice. So, you could change my voice to anything you want. Yes, I probably could. Anyway, we had fun in Vegas. We had a lot of fun in Vegas. Well, good. Moving on. Take it easy. I'm just chilling here. Anyone who's tuning in, welcome to the show. This is the Tubadylan show. Don't know if we have a good mix tonight, but It's always a work in progress. This is the world's most complicated and largest and craziest 4K one-man tuba studio in the world. I said that, the world's. You know, we have different angles. If you're just tuning in, we can welcome you from different parts of the studio, but I'm sitting here in the Tubadylan Master Studio Control Cave. And so here I am, and I have different cameras that I can talk to you with. This is my interaction chat camera, so when I get the hundreds of thousands of people in the chat that I usually have, tonight, since we're on so late, we only have one, but usually we have at least 200,000 or maybe two. So when people tune in, you know, and right behind here, what I'm playing with now is I've got this monitor, and I'm messing with it because it's not really standing up straight. That's, you know, that's all right. But it looks kind of funny, kind of crooked on my monitor. But I think I look relatively close to normal on that camera. That's a GH5 camera right there. But you can ask me about cameras. I like talking about cameras and computers and those kind of things. I'm here for you. I'm here for all of you. If you're out there, I'm here, and you are you, and I'm here. I'm in this crazy studio where I do my work from day to day, and once in a while, like I was telling my wife, I sit down and I push the button and it goes on the live stream. And I'm right here. You're looking at it from the back of this weird place where I sit with E.T. Welcome to the place. Welcome here with me. You know, I like having people come in and give me a chit chat, and I'm happy to talk about anything. Anything you'd like. I'm here for you, hoping that you'll be here for me. And give a shout out if you know me. My name is Dylan. I've been on YouTube for quite a long time, I was the most famous tuba player on the internet for a period of about 10 years, from 2007 to 2017 or so, when if you Googled the word tuba, you would see my Super Mario Brothers YouTube video. And that was me. That is my claim to fame, and I will claim it forever. Oh wow, I hear echo. I don't like that. Let me fix that. Boom. Unfortunately, sometimes it does that. I go to one camera and it's not supposed to do that, but it will enable that microphone and it will cause more feedback. I don't like that. I have to fix this thing. So I kind of don't know what I'm doing, but I actually do know what I'm doing. As I've worked in film and video for most of my adult life, I'm here for you. If you're working on a YouTube channel and you want to know how to do it, don't ask me. I'm kidding, ask me. All right, I'm taking that off again. It seems to be working, so I can just sit here and talk to you guys. Maybe I'll read the Tuba news and see what's going down. And just kind of practice. I want to practice with these cameras. I'm waiting for you guys to chime in and chat with me. Let me see if I can engage this chat a little bit. Again, so yes, we are live. Yes, we are live. I know this is the middle of the night. Nobody, you know, I know this is the middle of the night. Period. I hope that if you're shut in Australia, you'll give me a hello. I'm engaging the chat in order to get YouTube to promote this exciting live stream. But that doesn't mean that anything's going to happen. It usually doesn't. Now let's see if this will enact anything when I change some of these cameras. Hopefully it won't from this point on. If I put this one in there. Nope, that's good. Hey there, we got another viewer. Hi. Welcome to the show. This is the Tubadylan show. Say hi in the chat. You don't have to identify yourself, you know. Maybe I should go on Facebook again and just say I'm live. I need to do that. And we'll see who comes in. I can do that on here. Which one of your tubas is your favorite and why? Well, there is a great question, Dwayne. Thanks for coming back. And which one of my tubas is my favorite and why? So this would have to be my desert island tuba scenario. Ooh, that's a tough one. Desert island tuba scenario. I think I have to go with the contrabass, just because I love tuba for bass. I'm going to say that's why I'm going to not go for an F tuba being my favorite. Even though there's a part of me that almost would do that, because these Yamaha F tubas are so versatile. And just for playing solo, if I was on a desert island and there was no one else to play with, I would want an F tuba. Being that if it was just me, so I could play Bach cello suites all day long, and that would be my choice on the desert island. Now, my favorite tuba of all time. Which one of your tubas is your favorite? That's a tough question. Which one's my favorite? I have to say I guess the Yorkbrunner is my favorite. I've just been through so much with the Yorkbrunner, and it just has such a beautiful, huge sound that people's ears perk up when you're in a hall. It has to be that. It's also a horn that I've had to fight over the years and learn how to adjust, and you see that for the people who play the 6/4 double C tubas. You see a lot of slide manipulation and embouchure manipulation in the low register to make it happen. But that's one of the problems with that horn. But that would have to be the one, I think. Like if I had to give them all up but one, I would guess I'd keep that one. And I financially, I guess that's still, monetarily, that might be my most valuable tuba. So I guess I'm not saying I'm going, deciding that for the money and the value of it, but often things are worth what you get what you pay for, and things are worth a lot for a reason. And so the Yorkbrunner is my favorite tuba of all time in the night of tuba talk. While we're chatting here, I'm going to go on my iPad here. I'm going to try to find my live stream. That shouldn't be too difficult. My video, yeah, there you go. You're live right now. Live stream. Okay, we don't want to do that though. I turn this down, and I want to copy, share, and copy this link here. Copy link. Copied. And now I'll go on Facebook. Now, when I go on Facebook and I've only done this once, but when I share my show, I don't leave it on. Like, I only just let it share while I'm on live. So that's all. I just say I'm live on YouTube right now. Hello. And that's it. And then I'll post the link here. Paste. Boop. Bop. Post. And this way, my friends from Facebook may join me. But Facebook, I don't think will promote this. I don't think Facebook will promote it. But hey, we're here. We're talking tubas. We're talking favorite tubas of all time. I'm going to go grab a tuba because I like to do maintenance here. Well, I was going to play this for you guys. Can you hear this? This one's a little tricky. Welcome to the show, welcome. A juice harp, the juice harp. Lovely, lovely instrument. Can I move this box up, or this box down? I guess not. I have so many cameras in here. There's so many places we can go. It's so exciting. Mac Pro desk. Boop. Ba, 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 ba. I guess if I play that one, you'll see me go back and get it. I'll just leave it on that for now. Welcome to the show. We're gonna pick a horn to oil some valves. It's just good to keep your horns nice and oiled up. Don't know what I'm gonna do, which one I'm gonna pick. I actually probably should do one of these. Those feel okay, and okay. And that one's always a little bit, oh, and that one needs help there. Let's oil this guy. What is this one? Oh, this is the balanced. I guess it's all right. It probably could use a little bit of oil. I want to put some oil on this Carol brass balanced trumpet. Actually put some Marvel Mystery Oil on it. Just while we keep it sitting there. Marvel Mystery Oil is the greatest of all valve oils for long-term instrument storage. So look at that. That's a nice looking instrument. Got an all sterling lead pipe. Kind of cool. An all sterling lead pipe, and it's designed in the balanced action way that Louis Armstrong liked, only it doesn't pop you back in the face like some of those older balanced action trumpets would do. Yeah. So, oil your valves regularly. It's always good to do that. I highly recommend doing that as regularly as possible if you can. That's always a smart thing to try. To try, whatever. To keep, always a good thing to keep going with your instruments is good instrument maintenance. And there's something about a little bit of this Marvel Mystery Oil that will just make a horn so happy for a lifetime. Now, I haven't gotten cancer yet. I don't believe, I won't bang on wood because I don't believe in superstitions, but this might not be the best stuff to breathe in or whatever, but for dirty valves or valves that are a little bit sticky, it's got some sort of detergent on it, and it really does deep clean the valves without necessarily, I'm not saying don't clean your horn, you should clean your horn, but and it leaves the valves in a really good, in a state where they can just sit and sit and sit and not have any problems. Literally for years. If you put Marvel Mystery Oil on your piston valves or your rotary valves, you kind of get it a little bit soaked in and you leave it there for the purpose of letting it sit on a shelf. You won't have any problem moving those valves years later. They're slow, they're a little bit slow and gunky, for lack of a better word. But it also does work wonders on new valves, on cleaning that little bit of residue that's left on brand new valves. I always put it on new valves and work it in a lot. It does great things for them. So this horn, I looked at this, it needed a little bit of attention. The slides are okay, so that's good. Really love this trumpet. The Carol Brass. I mean, this trumpet, Chinese made, I guess, or Taiwan. I should probably get that right, but just such a well-made instrument. Feels so good, so well balanced. It's the balanced trumpet, so well balanced in the hand. Love it, just love it. Love Carol Brass. I have several of their instruments. Really like Carol Brass. Good company. Well, welcome. We got 2 viewers here. Welcome to the Tubadylan Show. Hopefully you can still hear some sort of ambient music in the background, and you can pick up my voice enough to understand what I'm saying. If my English is clear, hopefully it is at least partially understandable. And we're just oiling valves. We're doing a little bit of horn maintenance here. I've got this Carol Brass. I'm going to give it a little more lube on the slides here while I have it here. This Carol Brass trumpet that I grabbed off my shelf that I could tell it needed a little bit of help. So that was the one I'm starting with here, playing with it, getting it oiled down. You can oil your instruments with me as we hang out. I think I just want to put a little bit of this lanolin butter onto, I'm going to put a little bit of lanolin butter here onto this Carol Brass 3rd valve slide. Not very much because I like it to be fast, but it's just feeling a little bit dry. Just a little bit of oil there, a little bit of lanolin oil. Make all the difference. Very nice. That's all I needed. That Marvel Mystery Oil actually doesn't come up too bad in these really nice valves. I mean, Carol Brass, I think, builds the best valve sets. Definitely, for the cost, the best valve sets for trumpets. Would love to see Carol Brass build some high-quality tubas. That would be pretty cool. Getting into the tuba market, I don't know if it's worth it. You know, you have these high-end Chinese tuba markets, the Wessex and the Eastman now, that are just fantastic, fantastic companies. So I don't know if it'd be worth it for someone like Carol Brass to get into that market. So yeah, over here, I don't know if you can still see me. I guess you can see me back there. I've got different horns. I was just peeking at some of my trumpets here, taking a look at the valves, making sure they're doing okay. Most of them have Marvel Mystery Oil on them. So this one doesn't, so this one needs a little bit of attention here. I just pushed the 3rd valve in and it's stuck. We'll see if we can get it loose. This is my E-flat cornet. Pretty little instrument from Yamaha. I think it'll be fine. I am going to put some of this on there. It could use it. I haven't put any Marvel Mystery Oil on this particular trumpet. I got this horn not too long ago. So it'll be happy to receive some of the magic juice. Meant for adding to oil in your car. I think you can add it to your gas and your oil. It's recommended on the Marvel Mystery Oil that you get at the auto parts store. Always a go-to to make valves happy. Make your valves happy, my friends. Why are Eastman tubas so popular? Because they're good, because they're really good for the price. Are you trying to say that you don't like them? You're wondering how could that be? Or are you saying have you tried one? I have one, and I think it's fantastic. I think it has, a few little issues. I mean, look at this Yamaha. Can't get this one valve cap off. That's probably human error. There it goes. Why are Eastman tubas so popular? Well, I like mine for a couple reasons. I like that all the valve sections, the slide sections, come apart, so you can pull that horn. This bottle's not working too well. That's all right, it's coming out. You can take that horn apart relatively easily. So if you needed something done, or if part of it was damaged, it would be easier for a repairman to fix. And I think that was a very nice touch. I really like the sound on it. And when you see people like Chris Olka, and I haven't played on the Eastman 6/4 York copy. I would love to try it, of course, being a 6/4 York runner player. I would love to try that York copy, but I haven't tried it. But being that a lot of the people who are now playing them were playing the Yamaha 6/4 tuba, which I am absolutely sure, haven't tried that one either, but I'm just absolutely sure, being a big fan of Yamaha, that horn is a monstrous, awesome, great tuba. And that people would switch from that to the Eastman. That says a lot. That says a whole lot. What I like about mine is it has the fastest and nicest valves of any tuba I've ever played. Other than my York Brunner post valve break-in. So the first 2 years that I owned that horn, it had some valve issues, and I had to really work those valves in, the Bowersfield valves. But now, the York Brunner valves are maybe my favorite. But the Eastman may be a good second favorite. And it makes a really good sound. And I think I'd have to kill you if I told you what I paid for mine. But I got the first one in the United States. I don't think they knew I was going to do a review on it and probably sell a whole lot of their units for them. I haven't done a whole lot of reviews, especially lately, but I did a review on that one. So it's on YouTube. You can see me review that 632 tuba that I have over here next to me. Hey, that's a great horn. It's a great horn. You can play anything with that. You could hold down, if you needed to, you could play that in the LA Philharmonic or the New York Symphony. I mean, you really could. I'm not playing these trumpets because, boy, that would work. Right now, the way I have the mics configured, it would blow your mind. I saw some professional tuba players choose Eastman over the traditional tuba. I see some. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Dwayne. That these guys are choosing Eastman and they're ditching their Yamahas that cost them $30,000. That's saying something, because the Eastmans are 10. They're a third of the price. And Yamaha, they're just, everybody knows Yamaha's great. But like anything, everything's designed certain ways, and who knows, those Eastmans, for whatever reason, people like Chris Olka and whoever, some of these really great players are switching to the Eastmans. It might, and in this day and age, of course, you've got inflation and all that, and to own a $30,000 tuba, you really need to be making some serious money doing it. When I got my Yorkbrunner, that was the time that I was actually making the most money I ever made playing tuba, was during that period, and I played that tuba. And you know, did I pay it off with my gig money? I mean, I guess, I don't know. Did I really need that tuba? No. People said I did, because they're like, oh, you can, you know, that's the way to win a symphony job. And at that time, that seemed to be the direction everybody needed to go in. For me, that wasn't the direction, although I played in a lot of orchestras in LA. But freelancing, you know, not symphony related. Yeah, so the only audition, well, I didn't really take auditions. People just asked me to play in different things. But yeah, I would say so. Eastman is maybe non-traditional. It's Chinese, but hey, it's a good bang for your tuba buck. So why not, right? I mean, that's the whole point of that. Tubas, you can get a very high quality tuba for something that's not bargain basement. Let's see. Yeah, the Wilson fascinates me, that tuba, but it's not my favorite tuba. It couldn't hurt to put some oil on this guy, since we're talking about it. I'm not hooked up right now to play this through the microphones. Now I could switch around and hook that up, but I don't know if I feel like it. This is a chit chat, live chat. So if you need me to play something, you'll have to talk me into it. This horn's getting nice and black and tarnished, just sitting there, you know. But man, it's still smooth as silk. I love this tuba. It's got some drawbacks. The York style tubas accumulate lots of water. You know, they accumulate a lot of water or spit or whatever you want to call it. I'm over here, okay. The York style tubas. So while you're playing, you have to do more work to keep them in tune, because the intonation is a little bit quirky on these horns. It definitely is with this one, in not a terrible way. I can really play this horn in tune, but it takes work, and I had to get to know the horn. It took a little while when I first got it. Ooh, I got a lot of the stuff right there. So we're going to try to put this on a couple different slides. Yeah, welcome to the Tuba chat. It says excellent connection. So far my stream, I think I cut that the wrong way. The stream is going well. Connection's going well. We're oiling valves. I'm probably rubbing up against this microphone a little bit. Sorry about that, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, but yeah, every time I pick this horn up, there's a magic to it. You feel like you can make the velvet tone of love through it. You can just get the velvety tones of love to the people who are listening. So, and it turns heads. I mean, I don't know. It looks all dirty right now. It's kind of tarnished and stuff. Maybe it kind of looks cool that it's tarnished and stuff. I don't really know. Of course, putting this together wrong just because it's late at night. I haven't messed with it for a while. But yeah, I mean, this horn, it turns heads. Even people who don't know tuba, it's just so big, so people want to you can't help but notice it because it's such a big tuba, you know. And that's maybe that's a big part of it. It's kind of a big part of it. Big part of playing an instrument, or at least some amount of part of playing an instrument, is being able to show off your instrument. Now, Hirschbrunner was so particular with their manufacturing. Like, you play like on an Eastman or a Chinese tuba, even the Yamaha tubas, your slides, you can stick them in either way. You can turn them one way or turn them the other way, and they do the same thing. But on this Yorkbrunner, the slides are marked, and they only want to go in one way. And I think that's a very specific thing. This one I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on it. But a very specific thing. I don't know if Yorkbrunner is the only one that does that. But my other instruments, I can't think of another one that marks every single slide with which direction they go back in. So this slide, sometimes I'll put on some extra thin stuff or some Marvel Mr. Oil just to grease it down, because I ride the first valve slide on this tuba. You'll see a lot of 6/4 tuba players riding their first valve slide. And I mean, any tuba, my F tubas, I don't have to do that. Although I wish they worked a little better and they were a little easier to get to, because I probably would ride them if they were ergonomically available. Like this tuba, I just, part of how I hold it, it's with my fingers on that slide. And you need it there for intonation purposes, and it's more to center the note where it really should be, in a way, than intonation. Because if you really are thinking about intonation all the time, then you're not going to play in tune. It's better to just play in tune because you're listening. Oh, that's better. But yeah, this horn is just so precision, well built. Of course, it's the Swiss-made instrument. And of course, Hirschbrunner no longer exists. And they sold their machine parts to Adams. So Adams now has the mold of the Yorkbrunner, which I think they modified. And so I think that the Adams 6/4 is not a copy like this one of this one. It's something different. Glad I have a towel here. That was smart. I didn't put that here earlier, but yep. And these have a little line and a mark to make sure you get them in the right place. And I do occasionally also like to move the fourth valve slide on this tuba. So hope your night's going well. Welcome to the show. We have 2 viewers. What is a mellophone? A mellophone is a French horn that's shaped a little more like a trumpet for marching purposes, but it's an F-style trumpet with a big bell at the end, so it sounds more French horn-like. I just lost the spring for this. It flipped out and flew onto my floor where I have a bunch of guitar pedals and things. And now I'm looking to see if I can easily grab it. I don't see it. We have a spring on the floor tuba emergency. So I'm going to stop oiling this, and I'm going to, no, I don't have a spring there. I'm not going to put that back in. I saw it boing out and kind of head this way, down in there. Let's see. But the mellophone, yeah, it's like a marching French horn, sort of, I think. People correct me if I'm wrong there, my other people in the chat. Okay, now that I got my horn down, I can kind of look for the spring here amongst what's down here. I don't have another one of those springs, so I'm gonna find that spring no matter what. I saw it pop out. Oh boy. Oh, and I found it. Yay! Bam. Boom. The Hirschbrunner Bauerfield valve spring. It goes with that. Bam. I'm going to put it in there. Now I'm going to oil this up and put this thing in here. That's a good spring. Sorry about the clanking. But hey, that spring, man, that spring is very old. I've never replaced the springs on this valve section. So, and this horn was built in 1993. Yes. Built for me at the Hirschbrunner Studios, or factory, not studios, in Switzerland. Do tuba players smoke weed? Well, that's kind of a silly question. I mean, do tuba players smoke weed? I would guess there are some who do and some who don't, you know? Like that, I lost another spring. Like that Supertramp song, Goodbye Stranger, you know? Some they do and some they don't. And some you just can't tell. Some they will and some they won't. And some it's just as well. I wouldn't know about all tuba players smoking weed, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a marching French horn, says Dwayne. I played one on, or in the high school music band probably when I was in junior high. Yeah, marching French horn. I would say good. I have a confirmation on that. The mellophone is like a marching French horn. Now, it's not going to be like a French horn because a French horn has rotary valves, and I don't think mellophones typically have that. And rotary valves have a much different sound and especially a much different attack rate than piston valves. I guess it's maybe not much, but there's a subtle difference that to me is big enough, you know. We were talking earlier about my favorite tuba. Why don't I like the York style? I like the sound on these horns better than the rotary tubas. I really do. But there's something about my Miraphone Bruckner tuba that I can just play that horn all day long and the valves will never have an issue. They'll be smooth and easy to play. The horn plays in tune everywhere. And all the spit goes down in one place and goes right out the spit valve. And you don't have to spin the horn around and pull slides out, dump slides, and do all that stuff. Which, frankly, you know, this tuba, you absolutely have to pull slides and move the horn around and dump stuff from different angles when you get your condensation or your spit in it and whatever. So, yeah. Keep your horns well oiled and they will love you forever. They won't love you, but they'll play at least. Yep. So, there you go. I got my York Brunner all tuned up. Could definitely use a shine. Could definitely use a good shine. But my hands are all full of Marvel Mystery Oil. Like I said, it's probably carcinogenic, but you know, just wipe it off with a towel. Just wipe it off with a towel. You know. Ooh, wow, smells like a auto parts store. Something like that. Yeah, this horn is probably, this is my favorite all time. And I've kept it in very good shape considering how long I've had it, how much I've played it, which is a ton, how long I've had it, and how huge it is. It has its little dents and dings because you can't help it. You gotta, once in a while, you're gonna screw something up and get a big dent or a ding in it. But yeah, welcome to the chat. This is the Tubadylan live stream. This is the chat on YouTube, the one channel that has numerous cameras pointing at numerous tubas. And it's here. We're here just for you. We're here to answer your questions about life. We'll answer your questions about tubas, music, trumpets, trombones, the movie business, as I've been in that business for most of my life. Technology, recording equipment, music recording, mastering, using different things to get a good sound, whether it be a live sound or a recorded sound or a YouTube sound. Not to say I'm getting the best sound here, but this is just stuff I like to talk about. I'm happy to get 3 likes and 2 viewers. It's exciting to be here with you guys. Seriously is. I really appreciate even having a couple viewers. Because, hey, when I push the button, if I know someone's listening, it makes me happy. And I know you are, Dwayne. I think you're the one who's on the whole time. I definitely appreciate it very much. Yeah, but welcome to the show. I don't think I'm going to stay on too much longer, but I was ranting a little bit about the Vegas trip we took. What other shows? We saw this show called Terry Fader. The guy, I mean, that guy is so talented, it makes you not even know what to do. Like, you know, that's part of life, is that there's always somebody that's way smarter, way more talented than you are. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're more successful. So I saw this guy, and he was incredibly well talented. He does impressions of musicians, and he's got perfect pitch, and he does it. He's incredible at it, and he can hold a puppet and do it while not moving his mouth at all. like I don't even know. And he can sing like as hardcore, bluesy, or rock, or straight, or and he can interpret. He's like the greatest impressionist meets the greatest ventriloquist and musician, and he's all in one. So to see someone like that, you're just like, and then here I am at like 2 a.m. talking about tubas to 2 people. So like we can't like compare ourselves when we see something like that. But I think about that too, and I think, well, success to me doesn't mean having financial success per se, or having fame, or getting your show out, your message out to the world, or whatever kind of thing that is. Success to me is more of a fulfillment and a happiness in life. That to me is success. So he started a show making jokes about being on his 3rd wife, maybe, or having a few divorces, and he was serious about it. And I can see someone, people in show business, it happens all the time. To me, that would not be a successful thing to have to go through in my life. I am happily married for many, many years, and I'm very dedicated, and I think marriage is the greatest thing ever, and can't ever imagine being without my wife. And I know it happens to people, because my own parents got divorced, so I've seen it happen. But to me, having a successful marriage is infinitely more important than having a successful career. But I'm ranting here. Appreciate me sharing my tuba knowledge. Oh, well, I'm just so happy to talk about tubas. And tubas become my hobby. I trained to be a tuba player. I thought that was going to be my profession. And there was a time that's... I wouldn't say I made a full-time gig of it, because when I was gigging playing tuba, I was doing other things as well. But I worked as a professional tuba player and have now turned it into a hobby, and kind of like going on YouTube. I get to play with my tubas, I get to play with my camera gear, I get to play with my streaming equipment and my computers. So this all-in-one show that you're watching right now is something that makes me happy. And sharing knowledge with somebody, even if it's the smallest little bit, gives me great fulfillment. And of course, I go on at the worst times, and nobody watches, and whatever. But the fact that you're watching and say that, that's really great, Dwayne. That makes me feel great. So I appreciate it so much. But with that, you know, it is 1:30 in the morning here. And I really think I need to wash my hands before I soak in the chemicals of the Marvel Mystery Oil too much. So let's see, how long have I been on tonight? I think I can check that. Let's see, I can look in here on my YouTube stats here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, an hour, 10 minutes. That's not bad. That's like a nice long live show. I've appreciated having more of an audience tonight. I know if I ever go on for a more, let me go on this one. I like this one the best. This is my best looking angle, or just for the lens and the way it looks and the background blur and all that. Yeah, I like doing this. I always think when I do this, oh man, if I would go on every night, I would have some sort of audience. Or if I went on every night at the same time, even if I went on once a week, like Wednesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern, and made it known that that's when I was going to go on, I think that I would get some kind of audience. I have you and a little bit, people come in and out here, but you know, I would get some amount of people here and there. And not that I need to build an audience, but that would be more interesting, and I'd have more conversation in the chat and would probably promote a better show. So I hope this one worked out. I'm assuming that the ambient music's still rocking in the background and that everybody can hear me. I'll play this back tomorrow and take a listen. I changed mics in different ways all the time. This time I've got this little Comica wireless mic connected to a Sony camera going straight in with nothing going on other than the preamplifier in the Sony camera, which is not the best. The Sony camera preamps are not the best. Welcome, we have another viewer that just came in. That's exciting. As I'm starting to try to wind things down, but you know, you could fire me up. You could fire me up. I've gotten a lot of work done this week, so I feel really good. You know, my job is a music supervisor. I have more to do tomorrow, but I think I'll be fine. I don't need that much sleep, so I typically get 6-7 hours of sleep per night. I think you need to have at least 6 hours. I just had a little flash in my screen. I don't know where that came from. That's kind of interesting. Always looking. I have literally a picture of me like there, 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 there. And I'm not kidding. Like everywhere. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. I'll show you a shot from the back of this. It's because it's wild. This is what I call the clamp cam. It's connected to my drum set back there, and it points back this way. So, right there. Hi. I think. Yeah. That's and that's not going to look great because it's looking into the lights. You see all my lights there. So this is, I did build a TV studio here. It's an almost soundproof studio. It's made for mixing and mastering actual film and TV, which is what I do here. But yeah, it's also a TV studio. That's what I'd say. But from this angle, it's not going to look great because you're looking at it from behind the scenes and you see some of my lights that come down on me. And those lights are what make this actually look pretty cool, like this shot. I mean, look at that blurred out lava lamp, and I can come even closer and blur it out even more. Yeah. So filmmaking is so many different elements of things, and I love that. And I love that you can have a studio and just build it any way you want. So in this studio, I have it built up so that I can play into all different sorts of mics with all different sorts of instruments and be on all different sorts of cameras. It's pretty wild. I don't use it for anything of great purpose, other than I really enjoy it. And it's taught me a whole lot about how to use different types of technology, which has helped me in my other job as a filmmaker, editor, music supervisor, those things. But I think we'll call it a night. Let's get these headphones on and let's see what music's playing back there. Maybe we'll play out something different. Let's see here. Put these headphones on and I activate them. We're chilling. Have you ever played on a movie music score? Oh, well, I'll answer that before we call it a night. I've played on some. Played on several cartoons, like different direct-to-video cartoons. Stuff like Tom and Jerry and different things like that. The actual music scores I've played on are, I played on In the Line of Fire, which was an Ennio Morricone soundtrack of a Clint Eastwood movie. I played on, what's some of the other ones I did? A River Runs Through It, a Brad Pitt movie. I played on Air Force One. I'm thinking of the bigger ones that I played on lots of little recording things. I've got tracks on, I played on the movie Saw 2, not very proud of that. Also recorded a song for that movie. Ugh. Those are horrific movies. I'm trying to keep my kids from seeing those movies. Anyway, yeah, I've done some movie score stuff. My teacher was Tommy Johnson, who's the most recorded tuba player of all time, in movies especially. So I know a lot about his life too, and his scoring experience. But yeah, I've played on a few. And my high school tuba teacher is Doug Tornquist. You can look him up. And he's now the top guy who plays on the Hollywood movies. Still a friend of mine. And he was my high school tuba teacher. And I wouldn't say I was his first student, but I think I was his first serious student. Because he was a student in grad school at the time. And I was his only high school student. And I don't know if he had any other high school students. He might now. I don't know if he has time to teach. He's playing in the studios all the time. So, Doug Tornquist, nice man. I really like him. He's been a good friend of mine for, I wouldn't say good friend like I hang out with him, but just I have good memories. He was a great teacher, and we still say hi to each other on Facebook from time to time, whatever. But I've known Doug since 1989, I think. Yep. So with that, we'll play this one out. Let's see what we got. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being part of my show. I love all of you. Love God and love Jesus Christ with all your heart. Not trying to be preachy, but I believe that God is the one way to true freedom. And I hope you all have a wonderful night and tune in again. We'll see you later. Thank you for joining us on the Tubadylan podcast, radio, YouTube, live show. And tell your friends. We'll see you later.